Welcome to another episode of the Man or Nine podcast. We're joined by my buddy Luke.
Hello.
What's your Instagram name?
Fairway Bob.
Why?
That's my golf name.
That's awesome.
I started golfing about seriously during COVID with a couple buddies.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm addicted to.
I've known Luke for a long, long time. And the reason, besides the fact that you're a good friend of mine, you're the first person to let me do a color portrait. So that's why I really want to talk to you about, because you were there before I became what people know Ben Ochoa now. I'm just
You were always Ben Ochoa, though.
And Kim was there. I mean, she knows you just as much as I do.
Yeah, no, I've known Kim. That's why this is not uncomfortable for me at all.
It shouldn't be. And it's like sometimes when we do the podcast stuff, I'll wait a couple minutes. So if you're not used to this, sometimes people are very like awkward. So I try and make it as easy as possible. But I wasn't worried about you.
It's a conversation with my friend.
That's what it is. So it's like, I don't want to call them interviews, even though I do that. It's a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Eventually I'll probably have it set up where it's like 4 people, but that's a lot of chaos. So I don't want to do that right now.
Yeah.
That's
you don't
too
want people
much.
stepping on each other.
Because it will happen.
Yeah.
For sure it'll happen.
Dude, it's just the nature of it. You got a lot of people in here that want to get their point across.
Yeah, for sure.
Or third time, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, whatever it is. But yeah, Luke, how long ago did I tattoo you? 13 years ago? 14 years ago?
2010, I think, is when we first, I don't know if we met in 2010, but I know we did Bob in 2010.
I think it was before that because we got married in 2010.
I knew you guys were dating and you were in nursing school.
Dental hygiene.
I knew
Same
you wore
thing.
the scrubs.
Yeah.
I know
Yes.
the scrubs all the time.
Oh my God, you remember all that.
That was
always.
it.
She always came in the scrubs. She was either like going or leaving.
Yeah, that's
always
right.
with the scrubs.
Because
That's right.
the school was right around the street from where the shop was. So I would carpool with a girlfriend. And if he was going to be there late, I would sometimes
Which you
just have
were.
her drop me off.
I was
and
there
would
late a
hang out
lot,
there
yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
And then we would drive home together.
That's crazy you remember that, man. I remember approaching you, though, about the tattoo.
I tell people this all
we
the time.
talked about it, and I was like, man, I really want to do a color portrait. And you're like, oh, yeah. You didn't care. You're like, just do it on me. Like, you trusted me. And I'm like, are you sure, man?
Well, dude, your painting and then the tattoo work that I saw was just like, whoa. Yeah, like I definitely want to get something by this guy. I don't even care what it is. Like you can have everything below my knee. And it was just like, let's figure it out. And I tell people you drew it up on a bev nap and like a bev nap.
What do you mean?
Like a beverage
like
napkin.
the square that you get at a bar for
Yeah.
a coaster. That's what you first put the Bob Marley on.
I don't remember.
It was it was that small, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And you were like, oh yeah, well we just got to make sure. It's the one.
Dude, yes,
And then,
I remember
and
this.
then when I came in and you had the stencil, it was from knee to ankle. And I was like,
He thought it was going to be a
because I remember
tattoo.
telling you,
I just didn't know what to expect.
I was nervous doing it smaller, and I remember I just told you we got to focus on like the cheek forward, not the back of his head. I remember telling you if we do the back of his head, it's gonna have all these dreadlocks and it's unnecessary wasted space.
I don't know how you see it. I just trusted that you saw it, and I wanted Bob Marley. You produced Bob Marley, and
That's
I get
it.
compliments to this day on it, no
That's
matter where
crazy.
I'm at. And but the one thing I do is I wear a sleeve on it,
That's good.
like religiously, because I'm in the sun. I golf a lot. I wear shorts. It's Southern California, but I have probably 3 or 4 that Bob gets it first. Before Bob gets it first, and then my arms get them, and then I look like I'm out there trying to dodge the sun or
That's
some
good.
super
You got to be
athlete.
like a vampire almost.
Went for certain, because I want to have these last. These are on me forever.
Yeah, Eric's done. Eric Cox is he still on Brave New World?
Revisionist tattoo.
Revisionist tattoo. So
Yeah.
there's no more Brave New World.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's a little plug for you, Eric.
Yeah,
Got
that's
you.
my guy, Eric Cox.
Right there. This is yours.
Yeah. Oh. Eric. I was with him last night.
He was always a solid dude, man.
Man, he is one of the people I trust the most as far as like, where you let people in like your personal space. Like you only got maybe 1 or 2 people that besides your.
And that's hard to
significant
do sometimes. Just
really
that.
hard. And I feel like whatever I talk to him about stays with me and him. Like I don't ever have to worry about anything. And he's going to tell me how it is. He'll tell me if I'm messing up. He'll tell me if I'm doing good. He'll tell me if I need to make a pivot. He'll tell me anything, and we go back and forth with it, and it's just it's somebody good to have in my life that keeps me like grounded and keeps me looking for the next thing, or like how to make things work better in my relationship with my wife.
He holds
or
you
my
accountable.
kids. Oh, 100%.
That's
so
a good friend.
it's a good friend, and you
it
can't
shows
find
that
a lot
you
of
are
those.
too, to be able to listen.
Well,
to that
look,
as
dude, I
well.
haven't seen you in 7 years.
At least.
Yes, because we've been here for almost 6.
So
And
yeah,
I didn't see you at Black Anchor.
no.
So
It was
no.
Empire.
Oh my God.
It's been
So
Empire.
like
It's got to be like 9,
Like
yeah.
9, yeah.
And we're still cool. Like we picked up like
But like me and you have always been cool. Like even though with the past that happened in Brave New World, Upland, and all that, and like there was a divide and stuff. I came in there like, yeah, I am that guy's friend, and I had been his friend for a long time. Not Eric, the other guy, and so I would be close to him, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like I had my respect, and like I owed you respect. You were a cool guy. You never did anything wrong to me. Eric was a cool guy. Never did anything wrong to me. You know, there wasn't really many artists in there besides like really you. And when Eric come in there that I vibed with, like vibed with, you know, and then like me and you clicked immediately.
yeah.
Immediately. Like there was something about it. I mean, I can tell you the first day I walked in there with the clothing rack up front,
Oh,
you had
my
that,
God.
you had the painting, you had the first little booth in the corner. It wasn't really a shop. And it was something about just like your presence was cool.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this guy gets it. And your graffiti,
Oh,
I don't
man,
know. If
love
you guys
that.
don't know about this dude's graffiti, like, jeez.
I talk
Most
about it all the
people
time.
Don't believe him.
No,
like
this-
they really
no.
don't believe
It's because I don't
it.
represent it in that way. Like I love it.
The stuff you did on the wall, like in hours,
Oh yeah.
was like, what?
Well, it's because if you really did it back in, I mean, even now, if you're really a writer, you had to move. You had to move quickly.
Bro,
It wasn't about
let me
taking
tell you,
time.
because of graffiti that I got to love through you and seeing how you did it so well, like my kids know graffiti.
That's awesome, dude.
Like we see it on the train.
You see it
I
hidden
point
in the
it out.
shop too. You saw the bathroom.
Yeah, I saw the bathroom. As soon as I walked in, I was like, yeah, of course he has a whole wall in here. Of course he has a whole wall.
Yeah, man. I love it. I still do. It's not worth it no more. Like getting in trouble and
Oh, no,
doing
everybody,
that.
you got to grow up. And dude, look what you grew into.
I love it.
It wasn't like you grew into like a banker. You know?
No, yeah,
You know
so
what I'm
it could
saying?
have been
Like,
worse.
You got something that you own, and then this is all you.
No, I
This
love
is
it.
your vibe.
But you know, it's all Kim's fault.
I believe
You
it.
do know that, right? Well,
I
yeah, of
believe it.
course.
Yeah. I
Kim
saw
was
how
the one
she
that
was
got me
checking
into
you.
it. Like I didn't want a tattoo, man. I tell everybody knows this. Anybody who knows us.
Didn't you buy him his first?
Oh yeah. She bought me my first tattoo machine, like $10 machine.
No,
So-
it was $200.
No,
'cause I
no,
put it
no,
on
no,
a
no, no,
credit
no.
card 'cause
No,
I had
it wasn't.
money back
She's like, I
then.
had debt because of
It
that.
was like maybe $200, but that was with like this cheap ass ink, an ink holder, 2 machines. So the machine was super cheap.
It
Like
wasn't
you
your
could
own
bend
ink
it like
back
that.
then? Was it your own ink?
His
You didn't
own
have your
signature set?
ink?
No.
No, no signature set yet.
Wasn't even.
But I have it now, and it's really weird.
Dude,
It's weird to me, man,
no,
because
it's not. I think it's
well, no,
so
because
dope.
I have it with Fusion. That's the only ink
Shout
you
out
guys should be
Fusion.
using. But even they know, they'll tell you if you ever met them. I'm really weirded out by it. I don't feel like I deserve it, and
Because you're
that's just
humble.
me though.
You're just a humble cat.
Because sometimes I forget I have it, and I'm like, I like. Oh, this is my color.
Oh, this is mine. Yeah,
I
that's
do that
cool.
because.
Do you remember putting that blue highlight on everything?
Oh,
Oh
seafoam.
my god, dude!
Hey,
We talk about that
I
all the
love
time.
it. I still love it.
Seafoam
I still see
green.
it in Bob. He got it in there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I probably should put some more lotion.
He has it on
but
there, and then the skull you have on the back of it
Mhm.
like, has it.
I love it. It's something that you were always just like, you tried to like turn the corner. You
Yeah.
know?
Yes.
And turning that corner is scary because it could be
Hell
anything
yeah.
around it. But you just turned it. You turned it with ease. And I think that's what people get fooled by.
I think it made it look easy. Hell no.
Yeah, well, I know, but I feel like you made it look easy where people are almost like, well, where'd this guy come from?
I got that a lot.
Yeah. When I seen it, I was like, well, when is this guy gonna get his exposure?
Right. I know you used to say that. I remember you saying
I said
that.
some stuff that was probably like, it was funny. We were joking, but that was my thing. It was like, I knew you had everything had depth. Everything was like pop. Everything spoke. Everything was dynamic.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, I've only been doing this for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, for sure. But I look back now and I think back then I thought I was pretty good too. And I was like, oh man. And now I look back, I'm like, oh, I've grown a lot. Not that that stuff was bad, but I have grown a ton.
Well, my craft is like bartending and
Yeah.
then moving forward into my career now. But at year 2 bartending, like I can make a good drink. And I thought I made the best drink. Well,
Of course.
year 20, I wouldn't have even looked at that drink.
Exactly.
It's just that I can make that drink so much better. And then the tools that I have access to now are so much better.
Yeah.
So it's not that you were good for that time
For the time period.
and you're still good for this time. That's hard to translate.
It's hard to keep up with it. That's what it is. It's really hard to. There's amazing tattooers out there, and there's an overabundance of tattooers. That doesn't mean that there's not enough clients for everybody. There is, but so many tattooers are trying to push the envelope to the point where how far can we really push this anymore? Because some of the best tattoos I've seen came out of the last 10 years of tattooing. The stuff that's coming out now there's some phenomenal stuff,
It's
but
out of control.
is it really that much better? Sometimes, but it's
But
rare.
can they do the whole thing?
I will, and I say no. Don't come at me for this. A lot of tattooers can't do a traditional piece. Let's get it. I can do it because I did it for years. A lot of tattooers now, and there's nothing wrong with this, but I do feel like there's lack of fundamentals. Now they want to do anime. Let's say, boom, that's all I want to do. That's all they do.
Slap
When
their
we
pig.
came up tattooing, lettering, black and gray, Chicano art.
Real art. You got into the portraits early.
Script, the portraits, black and gray, and then we were like Nick and Mike DeVries and Demasi, all those guys and whoever else. They were the first ones to do color portraits the way they did. Eric Taylor, all them, and then so I looked up to all these dudes, and now as a person, I've surpassed some of these people that taught me bad things, and I have left that behind. And I think as a person,
Bad
that's how
habits.
I evolved. But as far as tattooing goes, dude, we did everything. We all did everything. And now those tattooers are the ones that are staying steady in like a slow season, especially like election years. It gets really weird.
Yeah, I heard you talk about that in your last podcast.
Yeah,
Podcast.
and
It's my industry too. We're slow in my
It's
industry.
just weird, right? Because I think people are afraid to spend money because they don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Well, we're luxury industries.
100%.
So like when you look at that, it's like there's bills that need to get paid before we get to alcohol and tattoos and wine, whatever your luxury is, you got to line it up the right way.
We're at the end of the
the
line.
very tail end. So when everybody's doing good and everybody has extra money to spend,
Boom.
boom. When everybody's reeling it in because they
You
don't
can
know what's
feel it.
up and they're tripping,
You can
and
feel it,
whoop-de-whoop,
man.
The first thing that goes.
But this year has been the worst in a couple years.
It's
for real.
It's a weird year.
Has it been the
overall.
same for you guys in your
My
industry?
industry has been down, and the thing is, with my industry, COVID hit us so hard,
Oh,
and so it like deflated numbers and inflated numbers in certain categories and certain
Yeah.
areas. So then you're fighting fake numbers in a sense. Sometimes,
yeah.
you're going against stuff where you're like, oh well, I had an extra income, and they were spending more, so they were buying more,
Yeah.
and now they're not, and so now they're like, well, why is the industry going down? It's like, well, no, those numbers were inflated.
Yes.
So when those numbers being inflated, we're just going against like fake numbers. We got to get to the 20, 30, 24, 25 years before, this is just me, before I feel like we'll get back to a plateau and kind of, we had a high, we had a low, then we'll plateau.
It's just a roller
That's
coaster.
actually a really good point because a lot of people were getting like stimulus checks and everything.
Oh,
so it was
bro.
extra income
Are you kidding
that
me?
they weren't actually receiving. So like the last 2 years after COVID, people were getting tattooed a lot.
Oh man.
So now
insane.
people are like, oh, well, it's so slow, but is it really? Or were
are
you
we just getting-
overly busy because
I think that so I agree with what you're saying, but I do think it's slow. I think that I've been tattooing for 16 years. Don't think about it too much, but 16 years. Dude, when I started tattooing in 2008, it was slow. 2008 slow. That's when everybody was losing their houses.
Yeah.
Losing
There
their
was
jobs.
a
Remember the
recession.
economy just
100%. We dropped.
boom. That's what this year feels like.
And that's,
And I will tell you right now, I'm blessed, every day that I'm not,
you're consistent?
I'm consistent.
I heard you
And-
saying that, but I heard also that you as a team, make sure that you schedule and
Yes.
save and become more
Yes,
of a
yes.
manager
Yes.
and an owner than a tattooer.
Because I'm not out there like, yeah, I have a nice car because I needed it. I got into a bad accident. I didn't want that tank, but I got it. But we're not dumb. We're not stupid with our money. We're not irresponsible.
Yeah.
I don't want to say stupid. We're not irresponsible. I have homies that got Bentleys, and I'm like, bro,
We don't live
that's
above
insane.
our means. Like
And that's how we try. I think everybody's trying to get
You
to that
need to
level.
get to that.
So we were talking about the people getting tattooed and during the COVID and right after that a lot with these stimulus checks and free money. What I noticed in my industry, they went away from drinking your like base level alcohol, and then they jumped up to like the Don Julio 1942,
yeah.
the Clase
They level up their
Azul,
living.
Clase Azul. They start doing all this, and now it's like that's net sales. So they're buying less, but it's costing way more.
Okay.
So now we're getting more money in for less work and less out.
Yes.
So now that's what we get these inflated numbers. So then people are thinking like they live above their means.
That's a good way to
buy
look at
above
it,
their
dude.
means. They start spending money on things they shouldn't have, and then when it tears down, you just gotta slow down. You gotta slow down. We all
I
do.
think you're right with that. Like the whole plateau thing where maybe the numbers now are closer to the reality of things is what it is. And
But don't get me wrong, inflation's hurting us and like things
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
are you kidding me?
you can't even go to fast food. I mean, geez, Louise.
Bro,
In and
McDonald's.
out.
I
is the
know,
cheapest
In-N-Out.
thing.
In-N-Out is like damn near $60 for all of us four
For
now.
the four of us, and we don't
At
even
In-N-Out?
buy.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't
Remember, it was
even
like- it
buy,
used to be $34.
drinks and fries.
See, neither do we. We get out for like $21 for a family of
No.
four.
What are you getting?
Burgers.
Well, so
So do
he's-
Everybody. No.
well,
We don't get no
we've
drinks,
been
no
doing
fries.
like high protein, so he's been doing.
Yeah, you
like,
saw me eating that
Flying
steak and eggs
Dutchman.
right there.
Hey, I was like, yeah, that's
I've
good.
lost a bunch of weight since
No, you
you've
look
seen me,
great.
like a ton.
You look good.
It's I try to shave the beard, and Kim's like, no, don't shave
Hey,
that.
there's just some things that can't go.
It's like a baby
I
face.
mean, I used to.
You
not,
never had a beard, did you?
Dude, we were just talking about this today, though. I can grow a mean one.
I know. I can see it from here.
Oh, man. And I shaved today, like this morning. And
You remind me of the maturity of like Morgan Freeman. Like you look like a man.
yeah, I did. I can grow
Where
it,
like
but
if I
it
shave this,
itches.
I look like a kid.
Oh, but I just had to work on this. Like just making sure that I don't look too kidly. I got to keep this, like, and it's gray. It's
Yeah.
real gray. So, but
Oh yeah,
I can
Look,
go
see
full
this?
beard.
I don't dye that. People ask me if I dye this. I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
no.
man.
yeah, I'm in there. I pull 8 and then
Yeah.
Yeah, he just
Eight
comes
more.
it through right there.
yeah, no. I can grow a beard. It just very it hurts my skin. Like, it just gets irritated real quick.
Have you let it grow out long like this though?
Not that long.
That's why.
I think I did like a month
Because
and a
when I
half.
started growing out, remember I told you I hated
Yeah,
it.
and
when it
I
was
did
short.
too, because it would like poke, like stab into my pores.
It's like when you shave your head, right?
Yeah.
And then that in between stage.
Yes,
it's
yes,
like,
yes.
should I shave it or grow it out? That's kind of how I can't get past that in between stage.
Oh yeah, you have to work through it.
Yeah, no, I don't have patience. I don't know what it is. I get. My dad has a good goatee and all this, and he keeps all that. But
He keeps it going.
yeah, he does. I can't. I mean, I'll probably shave until I can't.
But I think that going back to what you're saying about the inflated numbers, that's really good for someone that's not in our industry, my industry. Whoever watches it, it's good for them to hear that because a lot of times I'm not gonna say who or anything, but I have tattooers DMing me and asking me, "Hey, bro, is it me? Do I suck? Am I doing something wrong? Like, why am I not busy?" And I'm like, "Hey, man, everybody, including me, has slowed down. You just gotta be smart. You need to relax. It's hard. I understand, bro. When you knew me, I wasn't like, and I'm not balling or I'm not rich and I do well for myself, sure, but I busted my butt to get there.
No, yeah, I remember when you guys were. I don't want to say struggling, but like
No,
it
we
was.
But there were
struggled.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm
There
like,
were
you
times.
guys were. It was like
We were
a-
living at my parents, like
Yeah, like, those are just steps that you take in order to get to this, and you know that hey, look, I can fall down this mountain, and I know I can land right here.
Yeah,
Like I know at least I have this, or I have your mom that will let you live with them, or you got
Yes.
you got those 100% friends, that you can just count on. Those are huge. And
but
then,
back then that was you guys. For me, it was besides Kim and her, it was you guys.
well, we were a family, dude.
Well, it was
hung
mainly
tough.
you.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but then
I
you stopped
enjoyed
kind
all you
of,
guys
you
because
started
I
doing
had
your own thing.
Yeah, I had to distance myself just
But at first you weren't. At first you were there a lot, and that's why we
No,
tattooed
yeah.
you so much.
because I was there, I was ready.
And then you met your wife, and I saw not a bad change, but I did see a change in you. And like I just remember you feeling that you moved forward.
Well,
And we just kind of stayed in that little island that because that's how it is. When you're at a shop, a traditional type of shop,
which was cool.
that's how it feels.
Yeah,
like,
we're just sitting on the couch. We're just flipping through magazines.
Yeah,
we're
but
smoking
then,
cigarettes. Yeah,
like-
it becomes a routine. It's a
it
rut.
does. It does, but it's the same thing over and over. And it's like,
And for me, I'm like, I'm not a tattoo artist. I'm running out of canvas. Like, I love this atmosphere. I love the art. I love that you guys exposed me to like so many levels of different art. It's so cool. Like at one point, I was even making stencils and hiding the little,
I remember.
the little Charlie Chaplin's in there.
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
playing with it. Like I would have never seen that if it wasn't for you guys. You know.
Yeah.
So the exposure for me was great. I just think the environment, and that's like, let's be real, the environment was a little toxic. It was,
I think-
and knowing that you left probably for the same reason why I left.
Absolutely.
And
But I didn't know, like I said, we don't got to talk about it, but I didn't know things got that bad. And it's crazy because what you've told me and what I know, it became a norm. I started talking to other artists and meeting people from across the country, and they would tell me the same thing, dude. And it sucks, but you said it, you hit it right on the head. A lot of the tattoo industry, which I'm sure every industry has its toxic stuff.
they all do, every single one.
But
if you work at McDonald's or you work
Yeah.
at the Ritz-Carlton, there is toxicity.
There's no matter, it's always there.
Yeah.
But I just kind of felt like, especially being a younger tattooer, I was always like, I thought this was just about the art. I don't understand why we're getting into politics and why we're getting into this and that. Dude, I just want to tattoo.
It's just the
and
egos.
hang out and go home.
It's just the egos. I see it a lot, like in or just like the different levels. If you walk into a room and it's mainly men, everybody's gonna be a little competitive.
Yes.
It's really hard unless you're already secure with yourself. If you can already bury your ego, if you already know how to do that, if you already got a little girl and a little boy at home that treat you to the point where you have to learn how to bury your ego, then it's alpha male in the room.
But that's where we're at now. So anybody who works here,
It's a great environment.
check it out. And I know you'll understand when I say this because you were there when I worked for someone. With Eric Cox, I worked with him.
Yep.
There's a big difference between being a boss and being a leader. I'm the leader here.
Mhm.
I will never tell them what to do with I won't, like when I worked at that really famous shop
Mm-hmm.
that I won't say, and you don't know nothing about that, so we won't go into it right now. I was put in a predicament to put my family on the back burner. And that was the most toxic environment I'd ever been in. And then I said to myself, when I leave that shop, I am going to come here and make it the most peaceful and chill place for any tattooer that comes here. You can stay 2-3 months. You can stay 10 years or wherever, however long. And then when you leave my shop, hey, man, I wish you nothing but the best of luck. If you need help, hit me up. You got my number. That's the way it should be.
That's exactly
And that's
the
the
way
way we need to get, like, even with your stuff, I'm sure you guys got the same drama that we do.
Yeah, we learned how to work through it, and but like what you're saying with the whole, your guys' industry is different. Like, there is no not succeed.
Yeah,
You
correct.
have to. There is no like, I can fall back on this.
There's no
I
plan
can,
B.
there is no plan B.
You don't have your
There's-
neck done, right?
No, not yet.
See, this is what we
That's
call a
in-
job killer.
Yep. And
And
I
they-
know. Look,
that-
no neck, no hands, because I wear a suit.
I
So
have my,
I can do all this
but-
and be good.
But bro, I have my neck done, and I still like. She doesn't want me getting my hands done complete, and I don't want to either.
No, I mean, that's when this like, hey, I'd rather you not. That's easy to say no.
Sure,
You know, it's
I
easy.
do it mainly for her. When I got this done,
No, that's to check the box.
but dude, no, when I got this done, it was supposed to be this big.
And
Oh, did you go to
also-
yourself? Did you
No.
go to
My buddy Chris was like, "You want this rose?" He drew me up a badass rose. I love his work. He's tattooed me here to the lantern,
Oh, nice.
and I worked with him at Empire.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah. So he drew this rose up super sick. I told him I want purple and red for their birthstones.
Yeah.
And then he puts it on me, and I remember feeling his hand over here, and I was like, is that just the paper? And he's like, no, what do you mean? And he shows me, I'm like, yeah, but are you doing it that big? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, wait
What-
a minute. I
Gotta get
kind of
that
wanted like
detail.
small.
Gotta
He's
get
like,
that
no,
detail.
man. And I was like, and I remember I called her.
He did because he knew I was not into it. I was like, regardless, like it wasn't like, oh, fall
She
back.
was not
like,
into it, dude.
It wasn't like a plan B or anything. But you remember when you met him, he had a shaved head. He looked like a cholo. He didn't look.
Look
he
at-
didn't need to look more like.
I don't
one.
think I look like, but it's just because
He
I'm
did.
Mexican.
He
and
had-
no, right? Yeah,
he
well,
had
no,
a
back then
resting-
you were bigger.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
were a little more intimidating. You had a shaved head.
I never
Had
smiled.
a resting.
No pictures.
face.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can see it. Now you're just dad.
Yeah,
You got
Yes.
Bart Simpson on your shirt.
Yeah.
You're just dad.
So when he
cool.
called, I was like, this is the deal. You can do it. That's fine. But you got to get, like, you have to have hair.
You can never shave
You
your head
can
again.
never shave your head
That's
again.
what she said to me. And I
That's
was
our
like, okay.
compromise.
Dude, if I could grow it, I would.
And he
have.
was like,
Grow what?
My hair.
His hair.
If I could grow
Oh,
my
no,
hair-
you're good.
no. Yeah, no, yeah. I have a good
Anytime
head.
they'll mess with me,
You're
like,
good.
oh,
Yeah,
you
my
got a
dad
bald
lets me-
spot. I'm like,
no,
give me the
I
clippers.
don't. Ezio has been messing
You're like-
with him.
oh, don't mess with me, man.
When that day comes, I'll be in full support of a shaved head.
So like, I
But
thought I was getting a receding hairline, and I was like, what is this? Is this receding? And Kim's like, no, it's not. Stop hoping for it.
No, you got Mexicans don't. You guys.
We don't
keep
go.
your hair- No.
Yeah, none of my family.
My
go
dad.
full
My
heads
dad
of-
went bald early, and I
Oh,
was,
really?
Oh, yeah.
So you already knew.
Yeah, I already knew. So I was like 21, and I was like, man, it's getting a little thin up here. And I was like, you know, when you're doing your hair, you're
21?
like 20, I think 21, 22. It wasn't like I
Wow,
was bald,
dude.
but it was definitely getting thin,
Yeah.
on the top. And I was like, I refused to be the guy walking around with like
Homer
look how
or
great,
something?
yeah, like look how great all my hair looks, except for like right,
Oh.
you know. So
So you're just kind of like trying to comb it over.
I just got rid of it, man.
Yeah,
just
I would have
immediately.
too.
And then I'm 43.
How often do you shave your head?
About every 2 or 3 days, but I bick it
Holy, yeah, I used to do the same
in
thing.
the shower, you know. So like it's for work really. So if I didn't have to be out and about all week and driving around, this would be longer a little bit, and then I would just.
Oh yeah,
shave
it's
it.
for work. That's right. I keep thinking, like, I forget that I have this job,
Yeah.
and then
got a
I
real
walked
job.
into
I
somewhere
got a
to
real job. I got a real like.
You got a real job though,
got a real like corporate
Yeah.
level of a job.
But that's good though.
No, I love it. I wouldn't shout out to my employer. Like I would never ever trade what I got. I think but it's a transition. So I bartended at 21. By the time I was like 33, I transitioned maybe 32. I don't know, my wife probably knows better than me, but I transitioned into working for this distributor that I work
Okay.
for now. And that gave me a parallel to my job already. So it was just about transitioning over into the distributor world.
Oh,
and
awesome.
and understanding that, and then being in that role, it's like so many positions underneath this umbrella, and I was just able to kind of like navigate it the right way. There's like classes you can take that they'll pay for and all this stuff. So I just free knowledge, man.
I know you've been jamming on the bartending stuff for. It's got to be good because you've been doing it for
Oh
so
man,
long.
I hung my hat up like 2 years ago. Like, don't get me wrong, if a wedding, a private party.
So you're not doing any of that no more.
No, I'm Monday through Friday.
That's
All
awesome.
weekends off, holidays off.
That's good,
I'm
though.
on vacation right now. That's why I was like, yeah, Tuesday works.
Yep.
You know, so it's giving me like the benefits, the 401k, you know, just the little bit of like security.
Security.
Yeah, and it's good when my like kids can see me look like this, and then put a suit on and leave the house, and then come back and look like this. And when I first started with this company, I was like, man, they're gonna like, I gotta make sure my sleeves are a little longer.
Yeah, yeah,
Let
yeah.
None of this be exposed. Here it is, almost 10 years later. Nobody even looks at me funny.
Do they have any tattoos?
Other people, yeah, I see other people in my company have, but nobody has like, I mean, not I don't know, but exposed wise,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I don't see anybody more exposed sleeves than me. But it's gotten to the point where I can wear polos to work. I go golfing with upper like management or business deals. I do a lot of like, I don't want to say like, we golf so we can make
Like
business.
mingle.
Yeah, it's business, you know, or I take customers out. I entertain.
Okay.
And so never has it been a thing, you know, like funny, because the last time I went out golfing, I show up and I'm not even in the door for 2 minutes, and the guy's like, is that Bob Marley on your leg? And I'm like, oh yeah, it is. He was like, come here, let me see. Oh my gosh. And this is somebody I've never met before in my industry. who I need to make a connection with, right?
Oh,
So as soon as I walk in the door,
boom. Bob's
connection,
selling it for
connection. I don't have to network now.
Mhm.
I don't have to push anything. We already have this bond, and it's over a tattoo that I got 14 years ago from you.
you. That makes me feel good because
So now it's not a stigma. In my world, in the corporate world, it's
Yeah.
not a stigma no more
That's
like it
awesome,
used to
man.
be. I used to work at hotels and bars where I had to cover them. Like that's when I really got
That's-
the sleeves because I was working out by the pool
Right.
some days, and I was like, it's 112 out here. Like there is no way my tattoos are seeing the sun. There's no way, and I'm not going to be over here
no,
Yeah.
every
all
2
day.
hours.
Yeah, no. So I just put the sleeves on, and then I come back because that's like our favorite hotel to stay at. My kids like staying there, and everybody's tattooed, no sleeves.
Whoa.
Get new ones, new corporate policy, as long as it's not offensive.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I strive to make sure that I have no offensive tattoos, not even a little bit. I don't care who you are, they're not
No.
offensive. So, like for those walls to slowly get broken down,
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like your industry is slowly going to develop into a bigger, broader category. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to be like I remember the first tattoo when Eric tattooed me here. We actually planned for this tattoo to be up here, right?
Yeah.
We sit down in the chair, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "Hey, can we switch that and go from the wrist up?" He was like, "I mean, yeah, because." I'm not that big of a guy. It's like all one size. So he kind of gets up and he switches up and he's like, why are you doing it like this? Like nobody, this is 2002-4.
Mm.
He's like, nobody starts at the wrist and goes up. Like everybody kind of works their way down. And I just told him, if I don't start at my wrist, I won't continue to sleep.
Yeah.
I'll be satisfied with going here because
That's
I'll
why
be
they do it.
always thinking about, well, I can cover it. Nobody's going to see it. And I jumped off that bridge and went this way, and I thought it was going to be one of the biggest mistakes I made. Like not a biggest mistake, but thought I was going to be categorized. These are the jobs you can do. This is the lifestyle you're going to live. You can't go here. You can't do this. And over the years, it just became a little bit more accepting, accepting.
Yep.
And then here it is, 20 years later, and it's like, man, I see some of the dumbest tattoos.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and it's
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dumb not as in art, but dumb as in like thought. What thought went
Yeah,
through
yeah.
that?
What does
process?
your grandma say when she sees that?
Yeah, is that even art, or
Or-
is it like a stick
Yeah.
figure that somebody charged you $70?
There's just no
to-
thought into it.
Yeah, so to me, it's just I'm glad we're here, 100%. I'm way glad we're here. I'm glad that my kids look at me and they're like, "Oh, so you got another tattoo, Dad? Where at?" And they go, "Huh, I like it." And I always ask them, "So what do you think of it? Do you like me with my tattoos?" They're always, "Oh, I love it. Your tattoos look cool, Dad." And it's just not even a thing.
I
Like,
wish my kids would say that.
well, because look what they grew up in.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
They
yeah.
could care less. Like all
They can see the
alcohol
best
at my
tattoo
house-
come out of here, and
Yeah.
like,
all the
yeah.
alcohol at my house, hundreds of dollar bottles. They don't care.
But
as
that's
as
not
long as they
true,
can get
though, 'cause
something.
they tell their dad, they tell everyone, "Oh, my dad's
No
famous.
way, dude.
My dad's this.
No.
My dad's that."
they do say it to
and
their
like
friends, and
I
I'm
have
like,
like
no.
family members who don't really know the industry at all and are like outside of it, and they'll meet someone and they'll bring him up and they're like, "Oh my
Oh, I
god,
know
I know
exactly
who
what
that
you're talking
is."
about, yeah.
So then they'll ask me like, "Kim, is Ben famous?" And I'm like, "If you ask him, he'll tell
Yeah,
you
you know.
no."
And that's the
No.
coolest thing about
But
it.
if you ask someone who's in the industry who follows him, like, yeah, he's known.
Yeah, no, very well known. And people will be like, I'm like, "Oh, check out my buddy. He's a tattoo artist and he does cool stuff." And I want anime. I want Bright. I want any. I'm like, "No, let me show you somebody, right?" And they go, "Well, do you know him?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Well, how do you know you got tattoos?" I'm like, "No, look at my DMs. Like, that's my homie. It's not
Yeah.
like I know him from being here or
Sure.
there or
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
It's like, no, we I'm like, look at this dumb meme or look at this Batman thing I see. I know you're gonna like this. It's like little 9-inch nails. I'm like, are they playing? Where are they playing?
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's like little things I see. It's like, Ben.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Well, same
So,
thing with you.
yeah,
It's
just-
same.
It's just because I've known you for so long and I've seen you like you've liked Batman since I've known you. Like
Yeah.
you've 9-inch nails. I was like, oh, are you gothic? Like, what is that? You're like, no. Because in my world, it was like hip hop or nothing. And then now it's like, oh,
But
no.
the thing is, I listen to hip hop. I listen to everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And that's like Eric. Eric listens to everything. Like,
But that's what I mean, Eric Click too, because he's
but your art has to be the same way. It's
Yes.
got to be everything.
versatile.
You can't just be like hip hop. You know, you're gonna be a very good connoisseur of hip hop.
Yeah.
But when you have to go listen to country music,
You better
you're gonna
get
be
it.
lost.
Yeah, right.
Or you got to go listen to hip or Jamaican style or Mexican style music. Like my son, he loves mariachi music.
No way.
Loves it. That's his favorite music.
Arabelle too. She likes the banda music.
All of it.
She just starts dancing.
Yeah, starts dancing too. I'm like, hey, that's your music. He's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, she loves it, man.
What do you think about that LA tower?
And that's awesome.
Ah, dude, isn't it?
The graffiti artist in me is like, dude, I wish I could have gone and did it, but
My daughter had a gymnastic thing at LA.
you saw it?
Oh, dude, I went.
One of the artists that
I
was
think I went 3-4 times and seen it.
Oh,
You know who I ran into
Who?
randomly? Do you remember Dylan? Tall Dylan, glasses, shit. They used to call him shit.
maybe.
Man, that guy's talk about he's changed. Shout out to you, Dylan. He's changed, man, and he's doing great. And I'm walking into the game. It was I don't know who was playing. I don't know. We're walking into a game, and I just happened to see him cutting across. And I'm
Wow.
like, yo, what's up?
Like walking or
Walking.
driving?
He's just
wow.
walking across the Staples or the Crypto Center's like parking lot as I'm walking in, and I'm like, hey, what's up? He's
How
like,
crazy.
I just had to come down here and get pictures of this. He's into it. He's got a clothing company, a line. It's called Unruly.
Unruly?
Unruly. It's on. It's like a lot of Rams gear and like graffiti,
Oh,
like
man.
homage and hip hop homage. But dude, he's doing it, man. When I first met him, it was just like, God, why are you always like this?
Yeah,
You know. And then
that's good.
now he's just a great person.
He's doing
Crazy
good.
story is my brother-in-law, my sister's husband's brother, Nigerian, first generation American, and so he breaks down one day, right, randomly on his car. My buddy Dylan randomly shows up behind him and gives him a ride, takes him to the tow truck place, all this stuff. My brother-in-law is showing a video like, man, I met this cool guy, da-da-da-da-da-da, and pans over. And I'm like, that's
How
my homie.
is that guy just showing up?
I don't know, dude. The guy's cool. He's good people.
That's crazy,
That's
man.
awesome.
I never thought of it until you said like that. Like, how's he just showing up?
It's Batman. Well, he's
Who
a
knows?
wannabe because we all know.
We all know who the real Batman is.
That's funny because even when I worked with Nico, like he made a video on the shop. I joke around about. I never joked around about Batman stuff. They know I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
And then I remember his
fan.
intro was like, and we got this guy, Ben. No, he's like, this guy really thinks he's Batman. And it's like, well, okay. And so I just started running with it after
you
that.
should. Dude.
And I was like, whatever.
It's kind of like your.
Do you see
it's
my
like a
ink rack
trademark.
back there?
Yeah.
My buddy that made all
you
the
got
table.
that though. Yeah. I remember you posted that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Remember you
Long time ago.
And then those.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I know those mean a lot to you.
Oh, yeah. All the stuff in here, man. All the stuff. One of the construction workers kind of pissed me off, though. He's my buddy, Junior. I love you, Junior, but you pissed me off. So he hired some guys to get extra help because I wanted it done a little bit faster, whatever they were doing. They were putting walls up, I think. One of the guys knocked down the Catwoman's head and broke the ear. And you cannot find that Catwoman anywhere.
Did you fix it?
No, I don't know where the piece went. I looked for it.
it's just one's gone? Oh my.
No,
I didn't
it's
even-
not gone. So what I'm thinking of doing,
chipped?
it's chipped. So what I can do is get like the epoxy stuff to make it like,
You'll be fine. You'll
and I
figure it
can
out.
fix it. But
You're an artist, you'll
it's
be fine.
but and I told him, I was like, what happened? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, what happened? He finally told me, and I'm like,
It's like one of those things. Like, how do I even say?
but
this
listen,
thing?
but he called it a toy, and I'm like,
Oh,
you mother. Because he collects Volkswagen Beetles. He has like 2 or 3 of them. And I was like, imagine if I went to your
Like-
house and
like
just
actual
kicked your
bugs.
door. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah. Or just,
Imagine if I just kicked your door in real quick. Just give me a little,
It's just a car.
Yeah.
It's just a car, right?
It's just
He's
a
like,
vehicle.
well, no, okay, well, that's not just a toy to me. That's that's my stuff, bro.
Like when I first saw it when I walked in, I was like, dang, he got those right there. Like, I hope they're mounted.
They're not.
No.
I do want to move the
But-
Catwoman though, because she like this dude Batman ain't gonna break. He's super sturdy, and if it does, I can glue him back. But she's very like slender and thin. And
But
can
they
break
had moved
quickly.
her.
So dope.
They had moved them.
They moved it, but he just didn't tell
You
me.
should be the only one to move it.
Exactly.
And that's where I messed up. And I told him that I was like, I love you, man. I should have just moved it. But next time, tell me if something happens.
Yeah.
But Junior, and I got to get him on her too. But he built the shop. everything.
He worked with him at Walmart before he started tattooing.
Yeah,
so that's
dude.
how long they've known each other.
I've known Junior
That's
for a
awesome.
long.
So
So did you see the shoes back there?
Yeah.
Those are his shoes.
Oh, for real?
He's like, can I hang them on the pipe going, the cable going through? I'm like, yeah.
Like a
Like some
like a
hood shit. Yeah.
And
And
it was
he's like,
funny. My son just asked me the other day, "You see those shoes up there, Dad? Do you think they know that they're up there?" I said, "Yeah, bro." I said, "Everybody knows they're up there."
oh yeah, man.
It's just funny that's still going around.
That's
but
still-
this
that'll
is
never
awesome,
change.
though, bro.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
wish I
man.
could have seen it naked, you know, and then seen the transition.
It was just a box.
it was just a box.
just all square. This is cool.
Cement.
It looks.
We
like
had to-
something. You did the flooring, obviously.
We did everything.
We did everything.
This was cement and not even
White-
half. The
Whitish
drywall
walls.
wasn't up. We put up all the drywall to the top. They had a T-drop ceiling to where the top of these pillars
Yeah,
are.
my dad took down
Her
the
dad
false
her dad helped us a lot in the beginning. To the point where he was checking up on the construction guys because they were kind of slacking.
ceiling. Yeah.
But we had to take the T-drop down because there was infested with rat feces and bird nests and
yeah.
this
it
and
was
that.
gross.
We had to seal the front up there. There was no drywall. All these birds are coming into there and so we had to take it all down.
It was like a bird nest, bro.
Yeah, basically. So we had to take it all down. Like it was a mess. And then so we took that down, painted the ceiling black, and that was it. We put the wall. The only reason I had the walls up is because I started having like known tattooers coming to work here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
You
then they
wanna
would
give
just
them
walk
privacy.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had like some plumbing stuff we had to do where they actually had to take out some of the like cement.
Yeah, they
And
had
so
to run a
we
pipe
actually have
for the other sink,
we
and
have
it was
our
deep, man.
handprints in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So, like,
we're
we-
if we ever move, we
Yeah.
want to try to transport it,
Like,
or
excavate it
do a
out.
yeah, just cut
mold
it.
or
Yeah,
something.
You should
But
be-
like, I honestly don't want to move. We were gonna potentially move the shop. I think that if one of these suites or something were to leave, I would ask the plaza, let me have this one to expand it, because then we can have a room for the podcast. But honestly, this is fine, and
Yeah.
I like being.
You know what's funny is when I was watching it, I knew you were in the shop, but it doesn't. It looks like you're in your own room.
So
Yes.
where he was in that last one that you had seen, it was right in the front where you guys were.
Oh, I thought you guys were like you guys built a room for it. You can't tell. It looks
Right.
good. It looks
Well, yeah,
really good.
because by the time he like cuts it, edits it, and he needs to zoom in, you can only just see us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like everything else is just for the artists and the clients to enjoy looking at it. Like we get people coming in here and they just look at everything in here and they're like, "What the
You know,
hell?"
it's a lot to take in. Like I still didn't do it.
It's all my
right.
pop culture stuff, man. I
It's
love
cool.
it. I love every ounce of the shop. But Kim designed it. Like she was the one that said, "We're doing this color and that." I was like, "I want to do the whole shop black."
Well, when we were creating the business and like he had to come up with a name and he
Oh,
was coming up
man.
with like all these random things and I'm like,
What
That's
lost
not
in
it.
this? What was your number 2? Do you,
He didn't
you really
have
want
one.
to speak about it? Or
No, I don't even think it was anything. I think like
didn't-
cloak and cowl or.
he wanted
Or
it,
it was
to
some
be like
Batman.
Batman like
But
But you
Manor
know what?
related.
You know what that means, right? Manor number 9.
It's the manor, like Bruce Manor.
Boom. Okay.
And then 9 is 9 Inch Nails.
Yes.
Oh my god! And have I ever told you that?
No.
I.
That's what
This
it
is
is.
how you know
Uh-huh.
that someone knows you.
'Cause
And that's a
everybody
friend
asks
right there.
that.
Right? That's in that.
That's
Yes,
exactly what
no,
that
that's
is.
exactly
Like-
what it is.
So this is what I did. I kept coming
everybody
up with these
knew this.
names, and Kim's like,
He would bring them to
Nah,
the
that's
table
weird.
and I'd be like, that's not it. Like it's not bad, but
it
that's
just.
not you.
She's like, that's not you. You're
it."
trying to be something. And then I was no shit. I was like sitting here thinking, and I'm like, what the hell? And I was tattooing when I did it, and I remember changing my gloves, and I went like this. I have Batman here, and I have a 9 Inch Nails right here.
That's the one that I used to always look at when you're tattooing.
And then
9
so I
Inch
was
Nails.
like, there it is right there.
And then
Dude,
he was
that's-
like, what about
it goes
Manor
together.
number 9?
Because at
And I
first it
was like,
started the
I like
Manor,
that.
and then the Manor number 9. No, get rid of the. And I said Manor 9. That sounds weird. And Manor number 9. Make it like no, not the number 9 is just a number, but it's just as important because I put those NO in front of it.
Yeah.
And that's like a big. And then to me, like later on, I thought of it, Manor, right, for Bruce Wayne. The NO is for like the N is for 9 Inch Nails because that's always gonna cross my mind, and the O is for my last name. In my head, I'm
No
thinking of
joke.
it like that,
Yeah.
and then the 9
is the
solidifies the whole thing. Yep.
Dude.
I never really play 9 Inch Nails in here. The guys will put it on. I know why they're putting it on.
I don't. Anytime I hear it, anytime I see it, anytime somebody has a shirt on, it's like, that's been.
That's awesome, man.
They just go straight to.
I for 9 Inch Nails and Batman are the only 2 things that I get DMs for. People like that know me, they're like, "Oh yeah, this reminded me of you." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
Cool.
that's the same thing. Like if I see something,
It's
coming across
flattering to
something
me.
dope, Batman. Like I got into Batman more during that same time because they were coming out with the newer versions of them.
Yeah.
Right. And it was like, oh, I like Batman. But what I really realized is I like the Joker.
I don't like that Joker.
I like the Joker.
You know how
I
many
like,
Joker tattoos I've done?
Oh. And
Dude, I've done.
I would never.
Let's
get
just
one
say
for
over a
that
dozen, and I've done maybe 3 Batmans. Why?
reason. Oh.
He
Because
does Joker.
because
No, do they know? Because the Batman. This is where the superhero looks cooler than the villain.
No, definitely. But it's what got me is the role that was played by what's his name? That's the only
Heath
reason.
Ledger.
Yeah, I'm just
Look at you. I don't even know,
That's
and
the-
I just know that's who you're
That's
talking
the
about.
only reason.
Because he changed everything that the Joker was.
And the movie itself, like it was like perfect for me.
Yeah,
There wasn't a bad anything to that
Yeah.
movie. Now, I mean, I could have subbed out actors for other actors, I think. But
Sure.
like that is he played that like how he played it better than Jack Nicholson played it. The
no,
original one.
no.
In my mind. It's
But
my
for
mind.
you, that's for me
Because
though.
I
Never.
can't connect to how like see for you it works because isn't that what's his name? Who
Jack Nicholson,
no, but who did the whole isn't that Last Christmas, Nightmare Before Christmas?
Tim Burton.
Yeah.
He did that one too.
So like that's you.
Same vibe.
Same vibe. That you get that vibe. For me, it was like almost how he just didn't care. Like
I think the reason I find the Joker fascinating, and I think maybe you and a lot of people do, is he's very relatable because it's basically his line that he's been saying for decades, forever is, "You're just one bad day to being just as bad or just like me," and that is any of us could turn
Yeah.
like that, bro.
it's like the day you lost it, right?
Boom.
And then you're okay with it.
Yes, and that's what he is.
And then you're just gonna ride it.
And that's like if you really get into the comics, there's times where Batman has these conversations with the Joker like that, and it almost makes him think like, I think you're right, like I could be that. And then or there's times where he's like, you're just as crazy as me. Just people look at you as the good guy. There's stories, bro, where or like people say, take the titles away. Don't say Batman. Don't say the Joker, and then play the story out in an audio file or something. Who's the bad guy?
Oh,
Dude,
Oh,
you see
I
what I'm
see.
saying, dude?
the tone,
Everything, like,
darkness of it, yeah,
Everything,
it
the
would put you that
decisions,
way.
like what the Joker says compared to what Batman says. A lot of people think Batman's like an elitist, like this is my way or no way,
Yeah,
kind of
see,
thing.
maybe
yeah,
that's what it is.
see,
Maybe that's what it is because even on that movie, The Dark Knight, when he gets into that semi and he kicks the other guy out and he's driving, he's like, "Oh, I like this. It was like almost he like became like, "Oh, I could drive a semi.
yeah, yeah.
I could do this." And it was like he almost became like more relatable as a human being.
Yeah,
in that
because
moment,
another
but
thing too,
still
he-
crazy.
He's not rich.
No,
He doesn't. He's like you and me. He snapped.
Snap.
And
He
that's
just
why I
lost it
think
one day.
people find
And
it
they were
more
like,
fascinating.
What do you have on him? And he was just like, yeah, like 30 to 50 knives. And he just keeps like walking around with just.
I don't know about being that relatable, but
But just to me, it's like that guy lost it.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
Yeah.
but any of us could do that.
yeah. And I think that's kind of the role that's what it spoke to me. Like, man. But ever since then, I was like, I watch anything Batman related.
Because we know that there. I mean, I know personally, and you do. I know there's people that have lost it, and they could have gone that route and made some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I know a lot of jokers.
And a lot of Jokers. And I know that one
Unfortunately.
too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And that's
And it's a bummer because I really cared for that guy,
me too.
you know, and then to hear just the negativity
I mean,
that
I used to
comes
call
from
him
that.
my brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Well,
how I
bro.
introduced him to people, and that's how he introduced me to people.
Right.
People would be like, oh, no, that's your brother. Even to this day, I run into people, and I'm like, yeah. it's just
Well, that's
not that-
like I'm kind of going through that. I had a friend that I thought was like a brother, and then I hear that these things are being said, and I'm like, what is going on? And it's just because for me, dude, like I said before, I don't need like when anybody leaves here, I wish them the best, and I'm there for them. I truly am. If you don't reach out to me, it's all good. I keep moving in my direction.
But you're also black and white.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not going to sugarcoat it.
No.
You're going to tell it how it is. And it's like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings.
No.
No.
You know, so it's like if you can eliminate the ego and eliminate the emotional response you're
Yeah.
gonna automatically want to give me. Like you're not I don't want to say, but you're not a mean person in that degree. Like you don't come off as an a-hole. You know, you're not. I know you. You're not.
Yeah.
So But I do know you. You will tell them
Yeah,
to their
straight up.
face, straight up, and how it is. And so, if you can't take that, and especially in an environment like this, where you're gonna automatically put up that like ego or that shield, or you're
Yes.
trying to make me less than
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
or are you holding me back?
Never.
Or so it's like,
Oh my God. He's like speaking the situation.
well, because I sat and
Like-
watched it. I'm an outsider.
Yeah.
I can't even draw a stick figure, dude. You know, I'm an outsider. So I look at everybody as talented, right? So everybody in a tattoo shop is talented to some degree. You might be more talented than at certain aspects and other things, but you guys are all talented.
Yeah.
Right? You're not running a race against each other.
No.
You guys are running a marathon with each other.
Together.
Yeah.
That's how I've always looked at it.
So the dynamic of that is, hey, you messed up, you got to fix it.
Yeah.
You know, or that didn't do right, you got to address it.
Yeah.
And if you can't take that and you want to put your egos, like bartending is the same way, man. There was a lot of egos in bartending because there's a lot of money involved. And there's a
Yes.
lot of like clout that comes with it.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a lot of like, well, that chick's here because of me,
Yes. Right.
you know? And so you get a lot of these different dynamics, and it's you can make money.
Yeah.
You can make money in a shop next to somebody who's not a good person.
Mm-hmm.
I can make money behind a bar next to a bartender who's not a good person. But there's gonna be a divide eventually when
Yes.
you're gonna need me because I'm more experienced than
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you. No matter what.
Exactly.
It's just the way life works.
Mm-hmm.
I've already jumped those hurdles. So if you don't want me to help you get past those hurdles, and you're gonna take it as I'm disrespecting you or as I'm trying to belittle you, then you're not gonna grow. But we're gonna get to the point where you're gonna need me
Mm-hmm.
more than I'm gonna need you. And I'll ride by that. I'll let you
Yeah.
drown almost,
Yeah.
but I won't let you drown because it's not for me and it's not even for you, it's for the client.
Yes.
It's for this customer that's in our house, drinking with us, hanging with us, and I need them to come back.
Yeah.
Because as a bartender, we're the same.
Yep.
You know, on that level, like obviously you are way more creative and all that, but like I'm surviving on the generosity of others.
Yep. I
Right?
mean, we both are in that sense.
You see what I'm saying? Because you own your bar in
Yeah.
an aspect, right? So all the money from the bar comes to you.
Yeah.
So you get to make your kind of levels as a bartender or as a booth owner or as somebody who's in here tattooing. You can only make so much.
Yes.
So you're at the liberty of your clientele or your customers to want to come back, to want to be comfortable. And I'm not going to come back to a bar or especially a tattoo studio that I can feel there's a bad vibe between
No,
two people
no.
in here. You know, it's not like it doesn't take a very intuition, I don't know. It doesn't take a person who can,
Intuitive person.
thank you, intuitive person to like pick up on that.
No.
You can be a street fool
You can just feel it.
and feel it. You can walk in a room like, oh man, the vibe is off in here.
But that's why, like, I tell people, and when they come to work here, I say, you know, you don't be late to your appointments. You got to provide a good experience for anybody who comes in here. Don't leave your politics at the door. I don't give a shit. You can be completely opposite to my opinions. I'm not going to judge you. That is who you are, and I accept you for that. But if the clients start having an issue, there's a problem, we're going to have a chat because I can't have that.
You can't have that. You can't have somebody that's gonna like turn away business in a sense.
No.
You know, in the bar, it's like no politics, religion.
That's
Or
the
money.
same thing here.
Like I don't want to hear about how much money
No.
you make.
No.
because somebody else is gonna have a problem with it.
Yep.
I don't want to hear about your religion because somebody else is gonna have a problem with it, and we all don't want to hear about nobody's politics.
No.
So you can see how the atmosphere in here could be.
Yeah,
You gotta control it, or at least have like
you have to
you have
because
to have a level of expectation for
well,
it.
we're all here. There's no rooms. I don't want rooms. So the reason I don't want rooms is because the second you put rooms in a tattoo shop, there's invisible grudges that start to form. Maybe somebody walks straight to the room and starts working or stays locked in there, maybe because they didn't see you or whatever. And then you start to think, well, what's
Are
their
they
problem?
avoiding me?
Yeah,
Did,
and then,
did I say something that made them?
but that's not even there.
No.
And it's like, what is going on? You know what I mean? So I don't do the rooms. Everybody, if you got something to say, you can say here. You already know, like, I don't want to say rules, but like
Expectations.
the expectations of not offending people here. Because in today's world, you can offend a lot of people.
Well, easy.
And I'm not trying to sound like soft or snowflake or nothing like that, but
You run a business.
yes. And then for me, it's like, I'm into the things I am into. If you start making fun of that shit, then we can have some words. But I accept you for what you're into, whatever it is. That's all good. Let's keep moving.
Like, let's be real, Ben. Like, you're not a hard guy to accept for like the stuff that you're into. It's like
No.
you're not into no weird stuff or no dark stuff or like,
No.
oh man, he got this whole like pet spider in the corner of the shop that I don't know
Yeah,
about.
like that.
You know, it's like stuff like
No.
that. It's like you're very relatable and it's easy money. That's good though. That not having the walls in here is cool, or like the door, like
Yeah, having it open.
yeah, you know, it's like open door policy. You just took away all the doors and the walls. So
Yeah,
here's your
everybody.
policy.
And
Get
it's
along.
cool. Everybody chills. Like today, this girl that Jerry was tattooing, he was doing her whole back piece. So obviously he's professional. He covered her up in the front. And that's so, dude, I've worked at shops, they
Oh,
don't
man.
care. And it's like, and then the kids are here, but my kids know the boundaries. They know when they're not supposed to come back here. They also know that sometimes people have to take off like their
Article of
shirt or
clothing
something.
to get a
But
tattoo.
the artists here, you have to be responsible enough to cover them up.
And
Or I'll say something that has to
that's
be
just
said.
giving them like give your clients heads up. Hey, this is how we operate.
Right.
You know, if you're gonna get that done, and we've already talked about it, it's not like you just showed up.
No.
You know, so like the expectations are there already. So they're not like you don't have to worry about. Oh, well, we can do it if Ben's not there. You know, we
I
can
don't
do it
ever
if the
want
kid-
that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is the expectations have been set.
And I think that they know that I want everybody to be free here, but also have respect, even when I'm not here, for each other. There's been situations, of course, like any shop, anything, you're gonna have your moments where people kind of lose it and say, "Hey, I gotta address it." Other than that, there is no drama here. No, everybody respects
Dude, you can tell.
everybody.
You can tell even when I walked
Jerry?
in. Yeah, dude, he was super cool and
Jerry's one of the cooler dudes I've had work here. I love Lex and Mark too, and Anna. Everybody who's coming through here has been really cool, man. I have not had any issues. I mean, I wouldn't have hired you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so funny. Sometimes they're like, hey, I think I'm going to head out. I was like, okay, later. It's because tattooers, for the most part, are so used to, I got to stay here.
12
till
to 10.
close. I got to stay.
12
yeah,
to 10.
right.
12 until the door's shut.
And then like my buddy Jamie Sheen, he took me in after I left Black Anchor for undisclosed, unnecessary reasons to talk about. But I went to him and he helped me with he hooked me up so I could get on my feet. And I told him, hey man, I eventually want to open my own shop. I just want to let you know that I don't want to stay here forever. It's nothing against you. I have my own aspirations, my own goals. And so he helped me get up out of the desert. And I kind of like pay it forward, I guess, you know. And then when I worked at Jamie, I remember that same feeling that they had. Hey, is it cool if I bounce, bro? And Jamie's like, I remember like one time he was tattooing, he took his gloves off and he takes his glasses off. He's like, Ben, I don't care. Go, like, do whatever you want to do, man. You don't have to ask me for anything. And I took that away from him where it's like, no, don't ask me nothing. And if I ever hear that you're here because you feel like you need to be, but your family especially is going through something, I tell you to leave, because I was put in a predicament where I was made to choose the shop or my family. And because I was made to feel like my career was going to be over with this piece of shit, that if I chose my family, I'm going to get reamed or even on the borderline of threatening me. Like, bro, you don't want to threaten me.
Well, dude, it was
Like, I'm not that one dude.
It was bad on both sides. You don't come home, you're getting yelled
It's
at.
bad. It's actually so. And then
You stay at work, or you don't go to work, you're getting yelled at.
that moment was stolen from me because we had a family photo shoot with Arabelle as a baby. Never got the photos with her ever because of that fucking douchebag. And I don't care if you. I hope you listen to this because I'm not saying his name for a reason, not out of fear. I still have a level of respect for everybody, and he doesn't even deserve that. But to this day, dude, maybe like 2 years ago, I couldn't even talk about this because I just get fired up and I just want to rage out. But I will never let these guys, they better never tell me, I got to go do this with my family, but I know I got to be, nope.
No,
Stop. Tell your client you'll finish it later. Your family's number
balance,
one.
dude. That work-life balance, there's nothing like it.
You have to, but
you
as
have to.
tattooers, you know, we're
It's hard.
hustlers and I will never make anybody feel a certain way here that you can't do something you want. Fuck that. Go do what you want. Go be with you want to take a day off, go be with your family. Like, do what you gotta do. At the same time, there is a balance, like you said. You gotta
be here.
as a tattooer, you gotta push. You gotta push to be the best at what you want to be. Don't be good. Don't be average. Don't even be like, you have to be great at what you do. To succeed in tattooing, you have to be great.
But that's also, you have to be self-motivated.
Yes. And I
So-
think that's a lot of lack of that is because people aren't confident. And that sucks because I've been there, man. There's sometimes I'm there now. You know what I mean? But I have to remember why I'm tattooing the way I do is for my kids and my wife. And for myself, of course, but
that becomes third, fourth on the list.
yes.
You know?
Yes, absolutely. Family's number one, no matter what. And then I'm glad that we had to talk the way we did because we talked about a lot of fatherhood and parentinghood stuff.
That's
And
pretty
that,
much
but
all
this
I
is the
know.
point. Like we said, me and Kim, no scripts.
Yeah.
It comes out that I could think that we're gonna talk about some other stuff, and we talk about like when we do them. Kim cries every podcast.
Oh my
I
God,
saw.
the last one I just
She-
cried, and I was like, I swear it's gonna be like the
But it
Kim
never-
crying podcast.
It wasn't supposed to be that. It just the conversation swayed into that, and that's fine.
Well, it's like a comfortable conversation. You know, it's not.
It should be like
nothing's
that.
forced. That's why when we came in, I was like, "Hey, do you want to talk about anything, or do you want to?" You were
I
like,
just feel like it's
just
not
give
that
me a heads up.
it's
And I'm
not that
like,
I
we'll
didn't
be
want to
fine.
talk about that.
Oh,
I didn't want to waste the whole conversation talking about
and
just
that's what I was
negative
saying.
stuff.
And it would have been it would have, like you said, it would have been a big conversation.
Yeah, you could break it up into parts, kind of thing.
Yeah, because there's like my side and what I saw. And there's
Yeah.
what you saw, and then there's other players involved, what they saw, and then there's like the truth, that like
Right.
overall,
Right,
what
because
really happened.
the truth is always behind the person that it's about, no matter what. And sometimes we might not ever hear it,
I don't
but
think
like
we
you
will.
said, I'm very black and white. I don't care about hearing it at that point.
No.
And I just get. To
I don't
the
want to
point.
debate about it and have like a drawn out conversation about it. I just want individuals to know like you're not that slick.
No,
Like
nobody is.
yeah, no, and it's disrespectful how you went about it.
That sucks, man. That really like.
Dude, he's the best man at my wedding.
That's how he's gonna know. What
I
you just
don't
did
care.
right there.
He knows. I didn't scrub you. You're not scrubbed off.
But there's
pictures.
nothing like. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I think in like a format like this or a podcast where, to my surprise, people are watching on YouTube. I didn't know this. I thought I was gonna make 10, 15 views. No, it's
you're
not like thousands and millions,
No,
but
it's building.
it's going. And I didn't know that because my video guy, he's like, oh yeah, it's doing pretty cool, man. Like you gotta keep going. He'll hit me up and be like, hey, let me go on there so I can speak. You know what I mean? Because that's how he is. I know how that's how he is. Or he'll he'll contact one of us if he watches it or whatever. But like you said, we got to cut the jokers out.
That's what it is. And it's like, there's just certain things that you just can't come back from.
No way. Not what you told me. No way.
Yeah, no. And like I said, like I told you this prior, but like, it's not that I don't want to see him do well.
No, I never want that for
know?
anybody.
It's not that. It's very much based on like I said, I want to see you flourish and do well in life. You just can't eat at my table no more.
No,
Because my table is sacred.
absolutely.
Sacred. And there's people that eat at this table that are always going to be there for me. And I'm welcomed at their table. Right. So
Yeah.
when it comes to the situations and the kind of the layout of the land that over so many years of my life going back and forth. And don't get me wrong, he wasn't always like this.
Yeah.
There is a point that it's all shifted, but it just is like, it's just rough, man. It's rough. I love this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I loved him. He was a
But
good,
it's
good
also
friend.
not fair for you to put up with all of the disrespect and all of that just because you've known him an extended amount of time.
And that's the thing is like,
You have to put
I
boundaries
have to
up.
weigh both, right? So both of them, everything fun and good, and these core memories and like the 20s, my 20s of my life was like dude, crazy. I can't even. If you were like to play a movie of my life or write a book, you'd have to have that insert in.
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
He's a
Of course.
major player in my story of my life, but there was also decisions that I made based on our friendship that I would have never made be outside of our friendship.
Right.
Right. So there's like his son's mom was a really good friend of mine, and I felt like I chose him over her, even though I knew them the same amount of long time. We were both friends, the same. We were, and I chose him over her, not in a way, but it's like that's my guy, that's my boy.
Yeah.
Like regardless, you're right. And then years later, at my brother-in-law's wedding, her parents were there, and I apologized to them. It was like, look,
Oh.
I'm sorry, like decisions I made and maybe the way I was acting because I had his back and like I was like backing him 100%. Like I just want to apologize for that. And dude, her mom and her dad looked at me and told me we would expect nothing else than you to choose your friend. And it was like, whoa, I thought there was always going to be something underneath there. And so it's just like little things that like I had to man up and like save, not even, I don't want to say save face, but like I had to own up and say, this is my fault.
I think it's for your own peace.
It is because that's, you know what that is. It's probably for my own peace
because everything you're saying right now, the individual that I was talking about that made me choose, it's kind of the same relationship we had because I became really good friends with this tattooer and he owned the shop. You know who the fuck I'm talking about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. And it became a thing where we were so close homies. And I live with the regret for the rest of my life that I chose him and that shop over my family. And that kills me. Anytime I think about it, it destroys my soul because I'm a person, I preach that, never do that. But because those people make you feel a certain way, to choose them over everything else, I think as a friend, you just think you're doing what the right thing is. As a coworker, you're doing the right thing. But then you look back at it and you're like, I should have never messed with that person.
Mm-hmm.
But those wrong things shape you sometimes more than the right thing does.
But
You're
I've
100% right.
I've also forgiven him for the things that have happened. I can get worked up about it sometimes. And that's not even me getting worked up. But I forgave him for my peace.
Mm-hmm.
Not for him. What he's done, he has to live with. For my own peace to move on, I forgave him.
And for you, apologizing.
And same thing for you.
Doing those things that you felt were necessary is your one step closer to finding that peace. Because you felt like you did a disservice to someone when it maybe wasn't so much of a disservice like her family thought.
Yeah, maybe it played out in my head bigger.
Yes.
And it played out in my head.
But I know they appreciated that as a parent.
Yeah, no.
You know that too.
No, definitely. Like that would make me think that, yeah, you're right. I just think overall with that whole situation with him, it's just that, like you said, the decisions that were made and all that. But like Kim said, it shifted my whole like trust system with who I allow to get close to me, how close. And then it also is like, I don't need that relationship from a friend. I don't need that from another individual that's not my wife or my kids. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why they're there, and to have this other person that would rely on me for so much more sometimes than I felt like my family was relying on me for.
Yes.
And it would be like, hey, can I borrow some money? Can you give me like $200? I need to get a Christmas tree and some presents for my kids. And I'm like, bro, Christmas is on the same day every year. Mm-hmm. Every year it's on the 25th of December. If you had to save $8 a month to get a tree at the end of December, then that's what you got to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I got a family.
Yep.
I got to buy a tree. I got to buy presents.
Yep.
And I got to pay these bills and do stuff. I can't finance your Christmas.
No, I'm not here to support you. I got to support mine.
And it was like, where would you even... Well, I just this and I'm waiting on that and it's like that. But you're constantly waiting on the next hustle or the next that or the next this. And it just is like, when that ship just never comes to dock. It never comes to port for you. So it just got to the point where it was just like, man, it was just like, man, you could only listen to the same record.
That's why I left. For me, it didn't get complicated like that for me because I wasn't around like that. Because I just worked with them. But then it started getting weird. And I noticed all the stuff I told you with the drugs on that. And I was like, I'm out of here.
Oh, with this guy?
Yep.
Yeah. And and I knew that was going on or getting to that point. And when it got to like the trade out for all that, like trade work.
Yep. Yes, dude. That's where I was like, nope.
And then I remember him leaning on you so heavy, right?
Hey, dude, are you working today? We got to pay the rent next week.
Yeah. hey, can you go get paper towels and this and saran wrap and this and can you? And Ben was like, or I'm talking like like if you're not in the room, you were like, I'm not your shop manager, dude. Mm-hmm. Like I work for you and with you, but you get whatever money was coming across the table for
which is still
your
a lot.
tattoos. Yeah, but you weren't getting a piece of any of that shop manager. No. You weren't getting any extra. It was just because he knew you were going to be there because you had responsibilities, so he could lean on you.
Yep.
And that's just kind of how it is. He knows that somebody's going to be there that's reliable and can be counted on, and he'll just lean on them. And then if something goes wrong, he'll just manipulate the story enough to make you feel like you're either in the wrong if you don't help him, or you feel bad for not helping him, or it's just a master manipulator, man.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
Well, and also, I think that also speaks volumes for you as a person to be able to break that cycle.
Yeah.
Because that's hard to do.
No,
when you have love for the person.
Because when you stay around someone like that, you in a way you lose self-respect and you're being selfish with your time against your family and your real friends. You become that. So the fact that you can break away from that, speaks a lot because...
Well, I kind of caught myself in a rut, right? I was bartending at like this dive bar and I was working like 2 days a week, 2 or 3 days a week, definitely 2. And it was like, this circle is just vicious. Like, you don't do nothing during the day. You hang around. You make good money, but you're not doing anything, And then you're waiting to go out. You're waiting to go to the bar. You're waiting to go drink. You're waiting to go party. You're waiting to go just party. And then it was like, I got to get out of this rut. But then what it is everything is so, it's right there. It's easy. It's the same thing over and over again. Yeah. It's like the loop. You're stuck in this loop. And then when I moved to the desert with my wife, my girlfriend at the time, that's when it cut the umbilical cord.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really severed it. Was like that hour drive that separated. I can't be there. I can't be right there.
No.
I can't just show up.
No.
And then I have responsibilities. I have new friends that I have made great relationships that aren't leeching off me and aren't draining me and aren't emotionally, I don't have to support them. So there was just different things, and then that gap grew and grew and grew, and then like we discussed during COVID, all that stuff, that was it.
Just lost his mind, dude.
Yeah, I was just done. Like there's just too much. I can only help you so much. I can only be there for you so much. But then there's a certain point when you don't want to be there for yourself. Then how am I going to be there? Mm-hmm. Like I'm there for you, but you don't want to be.
When you have to emotionally support someone, that's when you got to go.
It's draining.
Being emotionally available to hear someone else different, but actually carrying that person, no, I'm out.
There was maybe like 2 jobs that I chose over that job. Not that I would like back, like, man, I really wish I was working at Home Depot still or, whatever. But there was definitely jobs that I chose, like, I'll just miss today, and because he needs me to be there for whatever crisis was going on.
It's always something new,
and it's panic. It has to get fixed now. Oh man, we could go down. Oh man.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. You could split it up into episodes.
I just thought of a couple of things that was like, man, it could have been really bad. Really bad.
I mean, yeah. You just make that one decision.
Yeah.
But that's all it takes, though, sometimes.
Yeah. Or even...
I say that a lot with his career, for instance, because there's a lot of people when we go to conventions, younger kids who are coming up, they're like, how do I get to where you are? There's no roadmap. Like, we literally were just making the best decision at that time for us every single time.
I think it's almost
led us
still like
here.
that, no? Like, we're still kind of balanced that act.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't have a roadmap to my 50s.
No.
Hell no.
Like, I'm just hoping everything pans out.
I mean, we do have things in retirement shit and stuff like that.
But like,
other than that, no, we just go.
Part,
we drive.
Like, it's one step at a time. And to say like, well, if you do this, it'll be right for you. What worked for him isn't always going to work for everyone else.
Especially in this industry.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't know.
Everybody's talented different, So like, it's not like, well, look, if you invest in these stocks and you do it when I do it, you're going to make the same return. And we're all going to, we're going to be
right.
Yeah.
Like this is.
You're standing on your own 2 feet.
And you got to find your lane.
Yep.
And then it's not about like being you got to find your lane and not be an asshole driver.
Yeah.
And that's just pretty much what it is.
There's a lot of assholes on this road.
I do, definitely. And like, it's so, I don't even go into tattoo shops. Like, I don't even go, just as much as I love going in and just like meeting the people, checking out different books and the vibe. It's like, I'm going to walk in there and they're going to think I'm competition.
Yep.
At some sort. Like, I'm obviously don't have no neck or my hands, but like, I have enough tattoos where you're like, is this guy trying to get a job here? Is he trying to?
Or is he sent in by another shop? That's a big one. That's big one.
We used to do it. We used to go check out those shops. So
I
like,
remember.
It was just those things are, but when I came in here, I got a different vibe off the bat because it looks like my kids are here.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got stuff that just doesn't look like, no, we're just a hardcore tattoo shop.
No.
Like, I got my daughter's ears pierced, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago. And I took it to get them done by a piercer, not by Claire's or whatever.
Good.
You know?
Good.
We did that too for Aaron.
Oh, 100%. Like, that's the
It
cleanest
doesn't
way you
make
can
sense.
do it. Yeah.
She's getting her ear pierced tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully.
No,
They
Chris
closed
already
it.
said.
Okay, good.
Nice. So we took her in there, and it was just like immediately they're looking at me, and I'm like, I'm only here for a piercing. And then it was like, oh, the wall came down. You know, like the wall came down. And it was like, oh, you're not here for nothing.
You're not here to check on us. You're not here to scope us out. You're not here to price us out, because a lot of tattooers, and it has always been the nature of the beast, I'll do it for 80. Oh, you go to another shop, I'll do it for 60. Oh, that guy said I'll do it for 60. I'll do it for 40.
I'll do it for 40. I just need that. I want your money.
Yep.
And I'll just.
And that's unfortunately, but I get it.
Yeah.
That's why. And even here, bro, somebody walked in with like a bunch of work, not asking, or just kind of being weird, or not like directly saying what they needed. It's weird.
Yeah.
Not for me. I'm like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, because you're.
What are you
I'll
here
tattoo you. Where you want to get it.
Yeah.
But it's different because people that are coming and looking for you are.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different vibe. And they're not looking for like, I want a butterfly on my neck.
It's weird.
You
The
know, it's
weirdest
like-
thing that happens here, and I don't know if she's been here for it, but people come in here to like meet me.
Yes.
Oh, just to
that was
know
just
where
the
like
other
has
day.
been here?
Oh yeah,
was
yeah,
just
just
the
the other
other
day.
day.
Yeah, it's just, and it, to me, I'm just like,
Bro, you got like 900,000 followers on IG.
no, I don't.
It's something like that.
No, it's like 186 or something.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's under
ridiculous.
200,000.
that's still a lot. That is still a lot.
Still,
So like,
it is a lot.
that's a lot. Like,
That's a majority
dude, I
Harry
think I got
Potter
like
fans,
700 followers.
right?
And I'm like, nope.
But they've even said though, bro, like the followers don't count no more, man.
No, they don't, but exposure does.
But to see it, yeah, it gives you more exposure.
and
for
it's
sure.
like, and for me, it's like a catalog.
Yeah,
You know, when somebody goes, hey, who did your Bob Marley? Or, hey, I'm thinking about getting this portrait. Or like my wife's friend, she started a Frozen sleeve, right? And when I first met her, she did like, I don't know the characters, but it's something that she has a dope something right here on. It's like a snowman or something.
Oh,
Olaf.
Yeah, and it's like real. And I was like, hey, you did that. And she was telling me, I was like, just, check out Ben. She was like, oh, because you start getting to the
That's so
Disney
funny.
and everything and your colors and the way you put it down. It's just like, man, I always like, oh, that's nice. And I'm just trying to tell him, like, there's options out there.
Yeah.
Like this guy,
Yeah,
one of my
yeah.
buddies was doing, he wanted the anime sleeve, right? And he was getting in touch with somebody from Germany, and
Oh,
they were
cool.
going to be out here for just a couple weeks, and he had to fly to Texas to meet. And it was
Okay.
like a
Yeah.
big setup. And I was like, well, if I don't know, like, just go check them out.
Yeah.
At least reach out to you on IG. So I think the IG does have.
It does help, and I'm not
place.
trying to like throw that off, but I think that sometimes they get like artists and just small businesses get wrapped them into the numbers too much, because there's artists who don't have any following
That are huge.
Yeah, that could be
Huge.
amazing.
Yeah.
and they're busy as hell. So I think that again, going back to, it's a balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that also creates a lot of self-esteem issues, or
Yeah.
I'm not good enough. And I always tell artists, man, just keep doing good work. That's all that matters.
Dude, at that point when you feel like that, it's like you're about to make a next. About to make
Yes,
that,
Yeah.
yes.
because you're at the end of your own rope.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you're like, well, I got to do something else.
So sometimes for
gonna
me, when I
push you a
feel
little
like
harder.
I'm not I want this to be more. And it's because of that, because I think I'm reaching that point where, okay, it's time to level up again. Now, what am I going to do to get there? And that's that feeling.
Yeah. But it's a good feeling to have because like when you get complacent and you get like okay with where you're at.
That's a problem.
It is. And like even in my industry, like when you start off, you can start off at a lower level. And I get in there and I'm like looking at these guys. I'm like, hey, so how long have you been with the company? You know, they're like, oh, I've been with the company 15 years. And I'm like, at this entry level position, 15 years?
Damn.
Like, you're okay with that? You know, they're like, oh, yeah, it's a good job. I just do this. I make my money this way. And I'm like, cool. That's awesome. But like, I've been promoted 7 or 8 times in 9 years.
Oh.
You know, because it's like, dude, the doors are there.
Yeah.
But you just don't go looking for it. You're not striving for that.
I just don't want to be.
Some people aren't. Like, they don't care.
Well, that's in any industry. That's in anything. And that's when you start getting like the 40-year-old McDonald's worker. And you get like the, and I'm not knocking any of these jobs because to each their own. You know, but you get people that are like, dude, you're super talented. Why do you work at Circle K?
Yeah.
You know, like, you're super talented. Why don't you just settle? Why do you settle for this?
Mm-hmm.
They never reach their full potential because they're not looking to do that.
Well, I think
or they're scared.
And they're scared. And a lot of times you're more scared of maybe not the failure, but not so much failure, but like you're more scared of being like somebody telling you you're not ready.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you'd rather just stay in your comfort zone than be told you're not ready. Yeah. Right. When I was coming up in the service industry, the first time I got told, I asked to be, I think I was a server, you know, and I was like, hey, I want to do this. I think I can do this. The GM looked me dead in my eye and said, when hell freezes over, you can be a server. You're not made for this.
Whoa.
I said, cool.
Yes, I am.
So we'll just fast forward. After working there as a busser, server, cocktail waitress, expo, bartender, I did all that. I leave there and he hires me to sell cars for him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you don't think I could do this, and then a couple of years later, you want me to go you want me to be a lead on your sales team, selling cars. You're telling me I couldn't even deliver fries. I couldn't even take an order for fries at one point, and now you want me to. So some people look at that challenge and they look at it as a.
What did you do though?
I went and worked for him.
Okay, see, to me, that's him, a person that can accept defeat. And accept the fact that so they were owning their shit.
And
where he could have just
maybe
never.
He thought it would help build you.
He didn't leave me. Like I gotta say this. I progressed underneath him. I became a server while he was a GM. Yeah, you know, I showed him. That I could do it. So then when he did need somebody later down the road, it was a no brainer. Like I know this guy's gonna work. He'll sell, and he's gonna. He's dependable.
So in essence, though, I think that. I'm not saying he did this, but he might have said what he said to you to push you.
And that's good. I'm okay. Seeing that's the thing is like, I'm not going to take that as a knock. He might have saw something in me that I didn't even see in me.
Correct.
At that time. He might have saw that he just needs to be, boop, just let me push that button and I'll walk away.
In high school, my art teacher did that. They torment me sometimes, it felt like. And I didn't know why. Like, to the point where I almost damn near broke down as a teenager. I didn't know what to think. I didn't think I was nothing. And I remember one of my art teachers pulled me to the side. He's like, I'm pushing you like this because I know you have more. And I know you can, and I'm not saying this, I'm not saying it, but he's like, you're one of the best students that I've had or in the class or whatever it is. Show me.
But that conversation is how.
That conversation. You already know, like
my conversation with that GM is 22 years old, 23 years old. And it's still, I see it in my head.
Same.
I hear it. Same. Perfect. Because that's probably something we both needed to hear to keep us going.
But when you're going through it though, it hurts because you don't know.
Because that's the only person that's like that's the highest of the totem pole for you.
But whenever I start doubting myself, and I know you do it too, you think of that moment.
Multiple
all
moments.
The fucking time. All the time I think
that's a highlighted one, but multiple moments.
But but it's true because I don't think, if you know me for a long time, I don't look at myself like anything special. I don't. So when I talk,
even when you get told you are, when I'm like, hey man, you're gonna do this, you're doing great. You're like, nah.
For me, I know I'm doing good. I know I'm doing great, but I don't let that shit get to my head. And for me, so when I talk to tattooers, especially at conventions, the same thing. Like, oh, how do I one day I'll get to you this, or like that your level where you're at, or in your career, whatever it is. Or if you ever ask me, what is it? I said, it's not that I'm better than you. I just try harder than you. And it's like, because I already have the skill. I've always been able to draw. I'm not the best at anything like that. But in my heart and my soul, that's what I'm here for. I just try harder than most people. Most people don't stay up to 4 in the morning.
Bud. It's that mama mentality. Mm-hmm. It's about like that extra stay up to 4 o'clock in the morning to draw.
When and I'm tired a lot.
You know what I'm saying? And then be up early to go take the kids and be a dad. Those are just things that you got to do. And you're not doing it to chase anything. No, you're doing it because if you don't do it, you're gonna feel some way about it. Yeah, it's gonna,
and that feeling starts to pile up.
It's like,
and before you know, it's too late.
Yeah, so you just cut it off. Let me handle it. Let me do this. I got to be better. I got to strive. Yeah, but look what it's brought you, dude.
Yeah,
like I remember telling me like, this is what I want to do. I want to own my own shop.
Oh yeah,
I want to have creativity control. I want to be able to have booth control. I want to have all of it. And it was like, okay. And for me, I don't know what that takes. Because I have to have somebody
I didn't either.
I had to have somebody like you provide an ambiance for somebody like me to work as a bartender. I don't need to own the bar.
No, right.
I just need a bar to work at.
Yeah.
Right? You were trying to own the bar. Mm-hmm. And that's a different level. And then there's ups, downs.
Oh, yeah.
Blind corners, failures. Like you got all kinds of stuff to overcome. And to sit back and be like, now I have a podcast. Now I take my family to Japan.
That's crazy.
You know?
When you hear from a different, even Kim, like she'll say it, and I appreciate the fact that she says the things she says. She keeps me afloat. But when you hear it from a spectator's perspective that's not in my family like this, like home.
It's huge, dude.
It's different.
This is great. Like, look at, you got like plaques and trophies and a whole wall when you walk in.
You know what's funny is he talks about it's not about the trophies, which is true.
It's not for him. It's 100% not. But it's a bonus.
Yes, yeah. But when we were putting this up, he's like, I don't know if I want to do that because I don't know if I want.
That's
them
like
there. And
maybe
I was like,
a half of them.
Oh, I believe.
I was like,
it's crazy.
I understand what you're saying, but like. People want to be able. You should be proud
to your audience.
Yes. People want to see that. Kim and not only that,
so
but
Kim
you
is the only
proud of these accomplishments. It's not you being conceited.
Look, dog. If you had,
she's the only reason I have
a PhD diploma, right? And you were a doctor. You're gonna have it hung somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
These are your PhDs.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think he struggles with that a lot.
I struggle with it because you understand. Well,
yes.
Yeah, but a lot of the stuff is kind of rigged. I'm not saying I didn't ever deserve these. I'm not saying that. But Pete, there's a very love-hate with the contest stuff because a lot of it is rigged. Oh, the homies are going to get this one. I don't ever want to enter contests like that.
I also think though, that you walk into a room always thinking there's going to be someone better than you in it.
100%.
Never thinking that you're the best
all
one.
The time.
So regardless.
But that pushes me.
Yes.
Well,
just like I'm sure you're the same way with that.
Dog, that's what it's about though. Like, why could you ever fathom you're the best one here?
Never.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how? How could I be the best one here? So then you go in there just thinking, I have to do my best.
Yeah. Yes.
You know? Because somebody's gonna do their best. I know to stand next to them.
I know tattooers that I look up to, like my buddy Phil Garcia. That dude, you talking about someone who can do anything, that's him. And he's a little bit older than me. He changed his life around. He did some amazing. He's not even on this planet as far as a tattooer goes, and he's the most like chill, humble dude. And it's dudes like him and even Jamie Sheen. They don't care about your clout. They don't care about the popularity. They just want to.
Do you know how much more energy you got to spend?
Oh yeah,
to have an ego that big. You know how much easier it is just to lay back and be cool with everybody.
And that's how they are. And I look up to that.
Yeah, I tattoo.
Yep.
And just keep pushing.
I mean, we have a lot of passion, but you shouldn't let that get clouded with your ego.
Well, 100%, because your passion isn't derived from your ego.
No. But that's a very commonly mistaken.
Well, because you want to marry them both.
Yes.
You want to have something. You want to be very egotistic about something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And it's like definitely in this world, it doesn't line up. Like it's hard to do that. It's hard to be passionate and then be like, but I am the best and nobody can touch me and and let me show you because somebody in the corner is coming and they're sleepers.
But for me,
that's the thing.
For me though, I welcome that. I had some blood sport shit, like
but as you
like street fighter shit, like I do, and it's not not in a negative way.
No, competition's great.
Hell yeah, like you watch Dragon Ball Z at all?
Yeah.
When Goku finds someone who's stronger than him, he's like, oh,
finally,
hell yeah. That's kind of like the way I look at tattooing. If I see someone at a convention and I'm like, dude, that guy's killing it. All right, let's go.
Yeah, and but
time to go to work.
But you want to know, like, you want to know about him and how it works.
Absolutely,
it's not like. Yeah.
No, never.
No. It's like, hey man, I'm Ben. How's it going? Like, what like, dude, how did you do that? What technique are you? Because you would tell him if you seen somebody who was,
and I do all the time.
Great, and they came to you and was like, hey Ben, I'm just looking for this extra little. You'd be like, you'd welcome it.
Yeah.
Like I have buddies that are phenomenal tattooers in New York, everywhere, Texas, and they'll come around and watch me at conventions. Like this guy, Q Tattoos. I haven't seen him in years. I was doing this Kubo tattoo, and this dude, you want to talk about a phenomenal tattooer? He's in LA, I believe. He was watching me like, oh, and I'm like, and I just like covered him up, like mess with him, and I'll just be like, bro, you don't get to watch me. Like I know who you are. Like it's crazy, but the people who really take this serious and they really truly have their admiration for each other, we do.
No,
I don't go out there with no hate for nobody, man. Like if you got problems with me, that's your problem. That's not my problem. Like, I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
And same 100%. Thing. But I think that all that resonates with every industry in the world.
Everything. There's competition in everything. Like, if you are a garbage man, you better strive to be the best one.
That's what I tell my son.
That's what we tell
No matter
him.
what you do, I don't care if you, exactly what you just said, actually. I don't care if you take out the trash or you're a garbage man, you better be the best one out there.
Dude, my son, he had a career day and he was like, I want to be a plumber. And I'm like, a plumber, but Super Mario Brothers is going around. So I think it kind of leads up to him. I said, now most parents, well, I know people that would have talked your kid out of that. Like you don't want to be a plumber. You run, smells all day. You're gonna come home smelling. I said, you want to be a plumber? I said, let me go get you a plunger. And I went and bought him a plunger, and I told him, I said, hey, you want to own the plumbing company.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's what we tell them too.
Yeah.
I said, because the owner doesn't have to do those calls. And he has people and he makes all the money. And so it's like, I'm not trying to, you don't want to be a plumber.
No.
Because I'm not trying to shift or shape nobody's dream.
No.
Because who am I to say
you're just there to support?
I won't see my son own the largest plumbing corporation in the world one day. Like, and if I were to put that fire out at 5 years old, he'll never be able to get to that.
But that's how I was raised. Like my dad was really rough with me. And he told me I'd never be shit as an artist. Never. That's not a real job. You're not a real man. What happens when tattooing don't work? And I'm like, it will work.
Even when we opened the shop, he was like, don't put too much into it. You don't know what's going to happen.
A lot of people told me that.
And I was all, we don't have a plan B. Plan A is our only option. We will not fail at
But going back to what you said, like this is a little different than what like your son with the job, the career thing. Ezio went dressed as Batman.
And a lot of parents were oh, you can just choose whatever.
Let me be clear.
Like,
Batman's rich, right?
Like real rich.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and if you know Ezio, he wants to be a millionaire.
He does.
Then if you make that kind of money, you can dress like Batman.
You better be Batman, not Iron Man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Iron Man's cool.
Yeah, but you could do, if you had that kind of stupid money, you could live that dream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could live a childhood fantasy if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's no problem with that.
No.
But people shouldn't tell your kid not to have those aspirations.
Something's not possible.
You know what I'm saying?
Outside the gate while they were lining up, the moms were like, oh, I didn't know you could just choose whatever. And I'm like,
man.
Do you not know what Batman could translate into?
First of all, do you not know who Batman is?
Fighter. Maybe
so many things.
Turns into wanting to be a police
There's
officer.
millionaires right now that were inspired because of Batman and other superheroes and so and so and so whatever it is.
And it's like, so you're gonna crush this child's dream. Like if he told me he wanted to be a unicorn, I'm with it.
Let's do it.
I'm with it.
Step Brothers.
Let's figure it out. Yeah.
You want to be a T-Rex?
Yeah, let's figure it out.
And the dad's all.
There was actually a dinosaur too.
Because at the end of the day,
the parents were like, I'm like, what if he wants to be a paleontologist?
Exactly. Because let's be real. At the end of the day, no kid's really going to, as they get older, not going to think that. As long as you do your job right as a parent, but they could have been an archaeologist or
a private detector.
Anything.
Or you could do all this other stuff that it might not be Batman.
Yeah.
But you could be on that level, or you could be dressing up as Batman, making a grip of money in life, doing something, and go and visit in children's hospitals.
Yeah.
And doing stuff like that.
But it's crazy that people that watch us, they'll see this section and they'll still talk shit. And it's like the world we live in as a whole is so very toxic. And that's why even like I said it before, the videos that I make on Instagram, dude, I get so much hate on that. And it's like, you're not bugging me, bro.
But that's the thing is...
you got to ignore that stuff. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's the same thing with like Yelp, right?
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody goes in there and says, hey, you had a great experience because I have all the time in the world to tell you about how great things are.
Yeah.
No, let something go wrong. And then all of a sudden, I got time today to tell you about this and that and that. And that's just how it all translates. Like everybody has something ill to say, right? It's so hard to give people their flowers. Yeah. Like, but why is that?
But Kevin Hart said it best. He's like, in today's world, it's popular. It's cool to be hateful.
Yeah.
To talk crap.
It's cool to be like trying to put people
down. Look at him. Look at him.
No, dude, he's so tall.
What's that?
His shoes are huge.
He's half a size away from mine.
He's in a 9.
The fuck? Oh no, I wear 10.5. So
he wears a size.
Yeah, a size.
Small.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be a big boy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then if he wants to, being big is good. You can be Batman being big.
Not no more. He's more into Iron Man.
He likes Iron Man.
We're trying to revert him back, but we'll see. We pulled it away because look at him.
A perfect blend of both you guys.
He knew you when you were a baby. Remember that.
I don't hold it against you though.
Well, hey, Luke, we can sit here and talk all night.
No,
but
could.
Wait,
I appreciate
you're not going nowhere yet.
All right.
So I end the conversation with one question.
Okay.
You can't be sitting here. No.
No, I'll give it to you. Chris.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, if you know me, I don't know if you know this part of me. I have an unhealthy obsession with like a zombie apocalypse. I love zombie stuff. Yeah. Love it. I'll watch it tonight if I want to. Zombies start knocking at the door right now. It's locked, so we're good right now. You have 5 things on you. You can't say a lightsaber, it's not real. It has to be real. You can even say a tank, whatever. You have 5 things on you right now at your disposal. What is it? Mine was a backpack, a flint rod, a katana, purification straw.
Damn, that's good.
And I said a pistol.
Okay, so like automatically what came to my head was a backpack, right? And then I would need some sort of a knife or a sword or something.
You got to be specific.
Okay, then I would have like a buoy, like a big,
like
a multi, with the compass,
machete type,
everything.
Yeah.
You know the kinds that you're gonna screw,
like the camping, the scout knife. Yeah,
definitely would have that. I'd have to have something with some sort of ammo, so like a gun, but I need ammo too.
No, because so the rule is with the guns, you have the gun and 1 clip or 1 magazine. That's it, and it's full.
Okay, so then we'd have to have some sort of a knife, like a buoy, and then we'd have to have something even bigger than that, like an axe or something I could use a lot.
So an axe.
Damn, yeah, I probably have some sort of like a
or machete.
Yeah, like some sort of a
so
wielding.
That's what I'm saying. That's your scout one though.
I'd have to have the most. I'd have to do like a Bushuda blade or something that's gonna be sharp. I could just keep hacking at these mugs. So it's gonna be a backpack so I could carry extra supplies when I find them. A heavy sword of some sort, and then a survival knife.
Be careful because that's already two knives.
Yeah, but you got to have a small one to like
watch,
whittle and
finish
cut.
your list, and I'm gonna tell you. Watch,
and then I'm gonna need some sort of I like the tank idea. I'm gonna need something. I'm gonna need something to get about.
But you gotta think about the tank. The fuel. How you gonna get around? See,
how you gonna get in and out.
Yeah, in and out. I need the in and out.
Somebody said a Prius.
Yeah, you'd have to have something better than that. You'd have to have like a bike.
Like something, like bicycle,
something pedaled. But no, I would have to have. I'd have to have like some sort of like. Can I have like a like? I needed some sort of electricity field.
How?
Like do we have no electricity?
It's not, you got to carry it with you.
So like solar panels or something?
No, I was thinking I like that, like cattle wire, like so I could keep them away from me. They'd be zapping themselves.
I mean, you could.
But I get dude, that's crazy. I've never really thought about it like that.
See, you're not fucking ready.
The purification straw is huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Because you
then
can
you
just
get
go to any
anything.
stream and just drink.
That was when you said that, I was like, damn, this guy's. I'm not even thinking zombie. I'm thinking naked and
general.
alive. Like that's
Straight up rust.
We actually
Yeah.
own,
Like just
we actually
naked.
own them. You should have one.
Which one? Oh,
The purification straws.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know,
hell
that's a
yeah.
good thing.
Because
They're
you
not
never
even-
know. They're not
not
that
expensive.
expensive. It's
No,
like
they're not. I seen them on. Didn't somebody like?
You can make them too, man.
they have them at like Bass Pro. Costco
Yeah, I
even
will
sold
buy
like a
them.
2-pack.
Damn, that's good, Ben. That's a good question. So then I'd have to have some sort of backpack. I'll do the straw. I'll do the sword, and then a knife, and then some rope.
rope.
Yeah,
You got to have rope just for some like you could.
That's very like gutter. Like that's not like that's you going out there and taking care of business.
You got to at that point.
That's the list.
Well, in my mind, they're gone.
Oh,
So
that went
No,
dark.
bro. No, okay.
So now I'm just it's
No,
all
no,
straight
no.
survival and moving.
So check it, because she's here with you. So how you gonna get back to your kids?
Oh, we gonna get there. I don't know, but I'll be damned and determined. That's one
But
thing.
think about
that's
it-
one thing that she knows. I'll get there.
The travel thing's hard because the roads are gonna be jacked.
So you just got to write the compass on that knife.
You just
Point in
gonna
the right
fucking
direction.
jog,
No,
pacing,
yeah, dude.
and just breathe
Slow
for.
and steady. I'm just gonna get there. I'm gonna be like a ninja. I'm gonna be moving from the rooftops. I'm gonna be moving. I'm light, like I'm agile. I'll just be moving. I'll go wherever she is.
Hell yeah.
Wherever her and the kids are. Like we talk about that right now. Like if anything were to happen, like an earthquake or any natural
we talk
disaster,
about that all
I
the
just
time,
tell her,
bro.
stay where you're at. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Just stay there.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it. Don't try to move. Don't try to take off. Don't split up. I'm coming to wherever you guys
Yeah,
are
you
at.
need to stay,
Yeah.
keep low, no lights, just turn
No.
everything off.
I'll just be like, I'll just move. I'll wait. I probably won't be moving a lot
I
during
know-
the daytime, a lot during the night.
I know it sounds like the zombie thing's crazy, right?
Mm-mm.
You never
No, bro,
know,
We
bro.
on the cusp.
Can you imagine, bro? They're just like this at the door, boom. Like he's looking at it like, oh shit.
Like, we'd have to start moving shit to the door to cover
Yeah.
the glass,
100%.
to get,
So
to get
I've
it.
thought about this extensively because he's always
Rope
gone.
would be
We
good.
just take
Rope
my
would be
car.
good if you'd rope that.
We just take my
you gotta
car.
Get, yeah, that's a good
Because we got the kids, so we just go get your kids.
I would just take all of the doors off on the inside of the house and put them on all of the lower levels.
Where are the doors?
Not
we don't
here.
have any
I'm
doors.
saying if I was at home, like
Oh,
we
yeah,
have
yeah.
a lot of doors.
Blow the
so,
stairs out,
like
boom.
I would be hammering
Yeah.
that to like all the windows.
We've thought about this a lot.
I have thought
like,
about it.
No, I think about it, but I like to think that I'm thinking about it and she's not. Like
Well,
I
that's
know she's
Kim.
probably, more prepared.
The
than
only
I am.
reason Kim thinks about it is because of me.
I also
If I was at
do-
my house though, and we had it going on, shout out to my neighbor April. I'm going to April's
Ready.
house. April,
So a knife, a Bowie
backpack,
knife,
a Bowie knife, some I can chop, and some I can be tactical.
Purification
with.
straw.
Purification straw, and then some rope.
the rope's a good one.
Yeah.
Rope's a good one, man. You'd be surprised how hard it is to find rope.
And then sturdy rope.
Like the
then what
military
you
thin
can-
grade stuff.
And then what you can do with the rope. You can do it.
Do a
You can
bunch
do
of
a
stuff.
lot of stuff with it. You can make a
Cut
trap,
pieces off
cut
and
pieces
get,
off.
like,
You
a
can make
fire.
fire. You
So-
can use it as a belt.
So we just invented a new like type of list. I'm gonna call yours. That's the gutter list.
I'll be the gutter because I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm going home. I'm going back. I'm
I
getting.
can't see you.
coming for you.
I'm getting
I
back.
can't see you being like that. But
I'm telling you, like if you were just to remove all, like I could get away with everything.
yeah,
Like there's nothing that's gonna
No,
be like, hey,
the
you
world's
probably
over.
shouldn't do
It's
that.
over.
Oh, bro, I'll be just. Fine. I'll be just.
I
fine.
mean,
my hardest thing's gonna be finding food that I'm gonna want to eat.
that's a big thing.
yeah, that's the thing.
know.
Kia would always say like, "Oh, well, we might have to eat bugs if it can." And I'm
She's
like,
like, "Just
"Just
kill
kill
me."
me. I don't want to live in that kind of world. I'm fine."
Yeah,
No, because you could eat grass.
you could.
You could. There's a lot of like stuff you could just like force down just to be like keep moving.
Yeah,
Just let me die.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Like bugs would be. Oof.
That
Bugs
was
would be
hard.
tough.
I could
couldn't
do
it.
crickets. I
Oh, I
think
can't
I could
do
probably even do a worm, swallow some worms.
I'll get
like,
down with it.
I could make it happen.
I'm just afraid of parasites.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. That's gonna be an issue regardless, though.
Anyways, that's your list. The
Yeah.
gutter list.
Thank
Luke,
you guys so much.
thank
man.
you
This
for
is
being here,
awesome.
man.
This was so easy. Like
Yeah, I don't want it to be weird. I want it to be easy. Come
I
here,
was a
hang
little
out.
nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even tell my wife this on the way here, but I was a little nervous. I was like, I hope I just don't get like. But yeah, you
Yeah,
can
no.
tell.
No,
I
you're
got to
good,
use
man.
Mountain, though. Can I
Yeah,
use
cool. We're done. Thanks again, man.
Mountain? Sitting there squirting.